Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Momship Mastery Podcast. I am excited about this week's episode as we dive into the new year. I'm excited because 2024 is upon us, and I know that many of us are ready to kind of get our goals going and really ready to just dive in and start afresh. So this week is dedicated to how we can have this journey of becoming our best self this year. How can we create this new chapter in motherhood that embraces who we want to become in a way that may be different than we've done before? So I hope you're ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to the Momship Mastery Podcast, the ultimate destination for moms seeking balance, connection, and growth in their journey through motherhood. I'm your host, master's level therapist and life coach, Andrea Baker. Here at the Momship Mastery, we believe that motherhood is a purposeful journey filled with discoveries, challenges, and countless opportunities for growth. Our mission is to provide you incredible moms with the wisdom, inspiration, and tools to flourish as you nurture your relationship with yourself and those around you. Each week, we will dive into transformative conversations, therapeutic insights, and practical tips to empower you to thrive as a mom while still maintaining your unique identity. From self-care strategies to relationship building, from spiritual growth to parenting insights, I've got you covered. So if you're ready to embark on this journey with us, hit that subscribe button and let's explore the world of motherhood, relationships, and growth together. Remember, you're not alone on this journey, and we're here to support you every step of the way. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is really just embracing that change and growth factor. We're going to be talking about how the power of a new year really kind of gets us excited about something different, about doing something different. How can we really posture ourselves in hopefulness, right? That's usually the thing of being happy for this new year. Is like, okay, we have hope that this year will be different than it was before. We have hope that this year will be better than it was before, whether you had a great 2023 or whether it was, a bit rocky, right? We know that we strive and we want to do better and be better. So as we stand on the cusp of this new chapter, let's talk about embracing change and growth. In motherhood, we know that there's some chaos and there's also some beauty, but it's a very transformative journey if we allow it to be. And with this journey is the power to shape and become our best selves. So I really want us to get into that hopefulness and just how we see the new year and what we can do to kind of make that hope and that those goals more sustainable. So let's talk about setting our intentions versus resolutions. I know we often hear, setting the New Year's resolution. Most people have health goals or finance goals and relationship goals and all these things, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think that the thing kind of comes in when we put a lot of pressure on ourselves at the beginning. Starting January 1st, I want to no longer eat chocolate, or I want to no longer have arguments, or I want to no longer spend this amount of money. And while that can be an amazing end goal if that's your prerogative, sometimes we can't necessarily just go cold turkey on these things. We have to really kind of plan them in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming and in a way that allows us to learn through the process. So setting intentions versus resolutions. Resolutions can feel really heavy and they often kind of lead to disappointment. We often feel like we failed our resolution, or we often feel like we didn't keep it up in the way that we wanted to, because we're like, okay, we're going to lose this amount of weight, or we're going to do this type of diet. And then the moment that we do something opposite of that, or the moment we do something that doesn't feel aligned with that, then we feel like we've failed that. But intentions, on the other hand, are like a more gentle reminder, a more gentle whisper that guides you toward growth without that pressure of perfectionism. So you set your intentions on, okay, I want to be healthier, and I want to do that by buying more whole foods. I want to do that by drinking more water. I want to do that by, something more sustainable, opposed to this year I'm going to go on this diet and I'm not going to, get off my diet, or I'm not going to have any cheat days, or I'm going to work out 5 times a week. We have like these big resolutions that feel hard and that feel, that kind of have like this sense of guilt connected to it if we don't. But when we set our intentions of where our heart is postured toward, this is what I want to do, this is what I intend to do, in a way that it's like, okay, I give myself enough grace to learn through this process, but it's not saying that I'm not going to, work to achieve it. I'm just giving myself grace to learn through it. So I hope that makes sense. While we're setting our intentions, I want us to make sure that we are kind of having like this bigger picture, right? A lot of us, we look at the goal, we look at the destination, we look at what we want to do, what we want to achieve. But I don't know that we always include who we want to be in that. Like envisioning who you want to be, who you are, but who you want to develop, who you want to grow into. What do you want to accomplish for yourself this year? So for this, you can just, envision the best version of yourself. Who do you desire to be the most? How do you desire to respond to hard things? How do you desire to show up in your workplace? How do you desire to show up in your relationship? You can take a moment and envision this, right? You can, if you close your eyes and you want to do that, that's fine. But I want you to picture it, like really just taking this moment to visualize what that looks like. Who are you? How do you wake up? What time do you wake up? What do you do when you first wake up? How do you show up at work? How do you show up at home? What do your children think of you? What do you think of yourself, your spouse, your partner? What do you guys do? How do you want to show up? What energy do you carry? And if you have this picture and you want to kind of bring this to life, then, you can create a vision board. Low pressure, you can do it on Canva. Get some images that align with that version of yourself and just really use that as a reminder and a way to continue to affirm who you want to be. And that way you don't have a forgetful, like, oh, I forgot I said I wanted to accomplish this goal, or I forgot I said I wanted to develop this part of my life. This will be your reminder. Once you visualize it, then go ahead and create a picture of it, take a picture of it. And then that way you can hold that reminder as being a gentle guide for you. So while you are going after your goals, while you're writing these down, while you're visualizing who you want to become, and while you're like just looking around your life and understanding, the changes that are taking place, I don't want you to forget about nurturing yourself. I don't want you to continue to put yourself last on the queue. I don't want you to continue to not give yourself the attention that you deserve. So how do we take action in nurturing ourselves? How do we take action in really giving ourselves the care that we need and giving ourselves the attention? And I just want to remind you about setting that intention. Let your intention be whatever it is that you are struggling with, or whatever it is that you feel you need to pay more attention to, whether it be your health, whether it be personal development, whether it be spiritual development, whether it be taking more care of your presentation, if that's what you want. Whatever it is you want to accomplish for you this year, I want you to take a moment and really figure out, how can that be attainable? How can you make that achievable? And how can we break that into smaller steps, right? If your goal is like, okay, I want to change my look this year. I'm out here doing the mom bun and the messy, all of this stuff. I'm doing the messy bun and the mom pants or whatever. I don't know. But if that's what you want to do, if you're like, okay, I want to change my appearance, or I want to kind of just spruce it up because I want to feel confident in the way I look, then what are some small things you can do to achieve that? That doesn't mean you're just going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to have these hours to spend on your wardrobe or your hair or your makeup. You may not, but what is a small actionable step you can take, right? What is one thing you could do that maybe takes 15 minutes? What is one thing that you can plan to do that may take a little more time? What things can you do to make this smaller and more attainable and actionable? Maybe like a morning ritual. Could you get up maybe 30 30 minutes earlier, maybe 30 minutes before you get your kids up, to take a moment for yourself, maybe doing some mindfulness and prayer in the morning, or just taking that time to really center yourself before you have to present yourself to other people throughout the day. And this really can make a big difference in your well-being and how you show up, because you've already had moments to yourself. You've already had moments that have centered you. So like I said, mindfulness and gratitude are really key in becoming our best selves, because it centers us. And I know most of the time this sounds like a really woo-woo type of deal, but it's not. There's a lot of science in mindfulness and in really just calming ourselves to a sense of stillness, because we're not used to that. When we get our bodies to just be and to really just breathe and to reset, then that's so powerful in how we're going to be able to show up. It helps us to foster that self-awareness and emotional regulation. We feel a lot calmer. We feel just a lot more thankful, a lot more aware of what's around us, who's around us, what we are capable of. You have more confidence. All of these are scientific, things that have been shown and found throughout research as it relates to mindfulness. All right. So once we are able to feel more self-regulated and embracing who we are and our emotional well-being and all of those things, now it's time to get into some of the practical sides of goal setting and how we want to break down our goals. I like to do a brain dump. Sometimes I have way too many things in my head and I'm like, okay, I don't even know where to start. And a lot of times it's very helpful to just get it out of your head. So on a piece of paper, you just write all the goals that you have. It doesn't have to be in a way that, looks pleasing or makes sense in the way that you're writing it. The goal is to get it out of your head and onto paper so that you can see it. And then once you are able to get everything out of your head, maybe a few moments later or after you walk away from it, take a minute, then go back and look at it. And then you can clarify it. You can categorize it. Are these home goals? Are these family goals? Are these personal goals? Are these work goals? Are these spiritual goals? Are these finance goals? If you want to separate them like that, then you can. Or you can separate them by prioritizing which of these are the most important for me. Which of these, do I need to do first? Which are these are more pressing? Do you have something that's coming up that absolutely has to get done? Then you know that has to kind of go a little bit higher on the priority list. I also want to give this caveat of just because, we have all these things that looks like they have to be done a little bit sooner, that also ends up putting moms on the back burner. You're like, well, I have to do all these other things. And then you put your personal goals further on the back burner. I want us to not do that, and to make sure that we try to balance and make sure that our goals are in alignment with the season that you're in. Okay. So even if you feel like this is a really big goal, then how can you break it down smaller? How can you break it down into months, right? If your goal is to lose 50 pounds before the summer, the summer starts around June. Okay. You go from January to June, it's 6 months. How many pounds do you need to lose a month? How many pounds do you need to lose a week? Breaking it down in that sense of, I want to do this. And just remembering that also when we're setting our goals and we're breaking our goals down, I don't want us to get so frustrated in the details that we don't remember that this is a journey. And in journeys, things change. In journeys, we have to adjust our goals. In journeys, we have life. Life kind of just happens at moments where we have to adjust our goals, where we have to pivot. But I want us to remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. What we're learning through this, what we're developing through this journey, through this process, is just as important as the end goal. So not allowing us to get so frustrated with trying to see the results, not allowing ourselves to beat ourselves up because the results aren't coming fast enough, but really looking in the journey, looking at the journey to see, what are we gaining? What did we gain this week from the journey? Did we get patience? Did we get disciplined? were we able to show up when we didn't feel like showing up? These are things that we develop throughout the journey of setting and achieving our goals. And those are huge accomplishments. Those are amazing. Like, really, those are the things that's going to keep your goals as maintainable. So a lot of times we talk about achieving goals, but we don't talk about sustaining them and maintaining them. How do we do that? We do it by the lessons we learn through the journey of achievement. So I wanted to just kind of put that out there. So again, when we're talking about the journey and really the small things that we are learning throughout the journey, I don't want us to take advantage of the small things. I don't want us to just ignore them, because we need to celebrate those small wins as well. If you felt that you were undisciplined when you started your goals, but now you're able to wake up 10 minutes earlier 3 times a week, that's a win, right? That's a win. We want to celebrate that, because that's something that you weren't able to do before. I think we struggle with this because we have this picture of, oh no, that wasn't the overall goal, so I don't need to get caught up in celebrating this. It's not big enough, or I'm not there yet, or I don't deserve to be celebrated because this wasn't the big goal and I haven't achieved this. But when we give ourselves that celebration, when we give ourselves that encouragement, it gives us more confidence. It helps us to be more motivated. It makes you feel like, yes, I've achieved that, I can achieve more, right? We need to remind ourselves that everything is an achievement, right? If we are breaking these goals down into smaller pieces and we're able to check something off, that's an achievement, and you deserve to say congratulations. So yeah, like, every step towards it is a victory. Every step you take forward is a victory. And even if you end up going backwards and then take a step forward, that's still victory. That's still accomplishment. And by acknowledging these things, you give yourself momentum. You build the confidence that you have in your ability to accomplish and to tackle these larger goals. So when we're setting these intentions, when we're setting these goals, and we are really taking in account all the things that we want to achieve and the ways that we want to show up for ourselves and be more mindful, we have to remember that the voice of perfectionism still exists. And this is something I have to remind myself constantly. We struggle with this all or nothing. It has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, then I didn't accomplish it. And I want to challenge that thought. I want to challenge that and just remind you that we have to embrace this mindset of continuous improvement. We have to embrace this mindset of, you can't go from 0 to 100, literally. Like, if you've never done this before, or if you've never set this intention before, and your expectation is for it to be 100% the first time you do it, well, that's unfair to you. That's an unfair expectation. The expectation should be, I'm going to learn through this. I'm going to grow through this. I'm going to learn how to do this better next time. I'm going to do it anyway, but I'm going to make sure that it is holding a lesson for me, that I am learning through this journey. And it's going to be messy. There are going to be some times where it just does not feel right, and you have to do it anyway. There's going to be times where you don't get the reactions you want. It's going to be times where you don't get the numbers you want, or you don't get the whatever it is. But you have to remember that this is a journey, this is a process, and we have to be intentional about continuing to grow. We have to be intentional about changing and growing our mindset, to give ourselves that grace that we need, to give ourselves the ability to make mistakes, to give ourselves the ability to counter those limiting beliefs and those things that try to stop us from achieving our goals. Sometimes when we're setting a new goal that we don't really have a blueprint for or a framework for, it feels intimidating because we really don't know what we're doing. And then it's like, well, how could I possibly be able to do this when I don't have the help that I need? I want to challenge you to look for other resources. Maybe go find a book that has something to do with the thing that you're trying to achieve. Maybe go find a podcast, maybe a YouTube channel, a course, whatever you need to do to strengthen your mindset. We want to make sure we go into this year with a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset says that I've never done it, I'll never be able to do it, I don't know how to do it, this is just who I am, versus the growth mindset that says I don't really know how to do this, this, but I can learn. And that's the mindset I want us to be able to have this year. And in that, like I said, this journey can be difficult. It gets messy, but it's yours. It is definitely one that only you can go on. Nobody can take this journey for you, and nobody can learn the valuable lessons that are uniquely yours. But engaging in a safe community and engaging in people that will hold you accountable in a way that feels safe to you, in a way that helps you but does not discourage you, that's important. That is important to have that support. A lot of times it feels undoable. It feels impossible because you don't have a community around you. But I want to encourage you to find the help that you need to help you and to guide you and support you through this journey. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want to encourage you to take these small steps to becoming your best self. I definitely believe in you, and I know that you are capable of doing this. I want you to embrace the journey. Remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they are, and step into the new year with your hope and determination. Don't let anyone, including yourself, take that from you. Until next time. Welcome to the Momship Mastery Podcast, the ultimate destination for moms seeking balance, connection, and growth in their journey through motherhood. I'm your host, master's level therapist and life coach, Andrea Baker. Here at the Momship Mastery, we believe that motherhood is a purposeful journey filled with discoveries, challenges, and countless opportunities for growth. Our mission is to provide you incredible moms with the wisdom, inspiration, and tools to flourish as you nurture your relationship with yourself and those around you. Each week, we will dive into transformative conversations, therapeutic insights, and practical tips to empower you to thrive as a mom while still maintaining your unique identity. From self-care strategies to relationship building, from spiritual growth to parenting insights, I've got you covered. So if you're ready to embark on this journey with us, hit that subscribe button and let's explore the world of motherhood, relationships, and growth together. Remember, you're not alone on this journey, and we're here to support you every step of the way.